Guys, it is day 1 of Read Your Shelves. The whole month of January, I'm going to try to do weekly vlogs. Honestly, this week may be jam-packed because I have it off of work still. We're still on winter break. Next week we go back, so we'll kind of just see how it goes. Obviously, I have a lot of things that I want to get done. Like, there needs to be a deep clean of this place. All this Christmas stuff needs put away this week. Just kind of getting ready for the spring because that's kind of how my mind breaks up the year as a teacher. But with that, during winter break, I told my students that I had 4 books on my TBR that I would tell them about finishing, and I need to read them all still, but they're all library books, so it doesn't really go with this readathon. The one I'm in the middle of is Blended by Sharon M. Draper. Absolutely loving it. I need to hopefully finish that today. But to kind of balance it out, I'm going to try to read another whole book today, and that is my graphic novel because it's nice and short. That is I Hate Fairyland, Fluff My Life. So this is number 2. So I want to read this first, and then I will get going on Blended. Just so I can stay accountable to my kids, but also do this readathon at the same time. We'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to relax for a little while and read. It is about 10:30. I got 2 videos that I filmed this morning that are uploading to kind of get ready for a new year, I think. Anyways, I will check in later. It is now 40 minutes later, and I have finished this graphic novel. I think I'm going to go with a 3-star rating. I totally agree with the cult following that this has the best colored illustrations, the goriness, the quirkiness. It is mature just because of that goriness, and then also it has substitute words, obviously Fluff My Life would be something else. They don't curse in Fairyland, but it is just Gertrude trying to get out of Fairyland. Doesn't work out well. There are parts where I'm like, what just happened? Didn't follow. I have the 3rd book on hold at the library, so I'm not going to be purchasing it, and I'll probably unhold these as well. But yeah, I finished 1 challenge for this readathon, and I have 23 more to go. I really want to take a nap, but I'm not really tired enough. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'll talk to you guys later. It is now almost 1:30, and I'm going to go get some groceries to make grilled cheese and tomato soup. I am 100 pages into the inexplicable logic of my life. And, of course, this would be the book that I start off the year with, and either going to be extremely ticked off, extremely heartbroken, or DNF it, because we have the grandmother who was re-diagnosed with cancer, and it's metastasized, which means all over her body and bones, and it's my, obviously, number 1 fear in life, for cancer to come back. So they're getting ready to take her to the Mayo Clinic, which is a big deal. Depending on how that visit goes, I may or may not DNF this book, so I don't go into a downward spiral. So I'll be back with an update. It is day 2 of Read Your Shelves now. 7 o'clock in the morning. I have breakfast made. It's my new favorite. It's a bagel with cream cheese, a little bit of feta, everything bagel seasoning, an egg that you can't see, and then smoked salmon. And it is so good. And then, of course, my toasted hazelnut coffee with vanilla cream. Yeah. Starting the rest of the morning off right with a bubble bath. I started this book at midnight last night because I couldn't sleep. I was up till 3. But I'm 50 pages in, and I'm just dumbfounded by how good this is. And I don't know why I waited so long to read this. I cannot wait to finish and talk about this book because it is amazing. Amazing writing. Alright, it is now almost noon, and I have done some self-care stuff, obviously, done some great reading from Homegoing. This book I was very intimidated by because it is a span of 8 generations of 2 half-sisters. and how slavery and all that affects their course of life and the course of the generations after them. And I was so nervous about keeping all of these people straight. Like, that just looks terrifying. But I am now 4 generations in, or 2 generations, 4 people in. And this is so good. I honestly think this is going to be one of my favorite books of the year. It's an Own Voices book, and I just can't say enough about it. I will save it for a wrap-up because I don't want it to take up all of this vlog. But just know, if you've been sleeping on this too or afraid of this, if I can do it, you can do it. Pick it up because wowza. It is absolutely amazing. Already 5-star for sure. Then after reading 2 more chapters of that, I got in the shower, got ready, all natural today. No filming today because I have this large zit on my forehead, so we're just gonna cut that off right there. But I did finish up 2 videos to be uploaded. One was uploaded today, one for tomorrow, and then I edited and starting to upload another one, a haul, and then kind of game planning what else I would like to record before break is over. And then I ate a quick lunch, and now I need to go run a ton of errands. I had to write them all down so I don't forget, because chemo brain is real. We're going to start off with the library. I have a whole bunch of books I need to return, pay fees for, because they're probably late, and then pick up a whole bunch, and then I will organize my library shelf, because yes, I always have enough books to have a library shelf, even though my house or my apartment is tiny. I need to go to Target and Payless to return some things. I need to drop off some mail at Hy-Vee. That's our nearest drop-off spot, which is a whole bunch of my chemo hats to send a fantastic woman in Georgia that I met in Atlanta. And I need to pick up the mail, walk the dog, do dishes, laundry, all that kind of stuff. So I will check in later. Oh, it is also Wednesday, which if you've paid attention to any of my vlogs, that means it's my favorite pie day. It's the one day a week where I splurge on the Platte County Fair pie. It is chocolate chip, pecan, gooey yumminess, and basically I live for it on the weekly. So I'm going to go get some pieces of that for sure, and I will make sure I share that with you because I'm sure you're real interested, but whatever. Anyways, check in later. It is 3:30. All the errands are ran. I have my pie. I'm going to enjoy this, get the library shelf ready to go, and then that guy, where'd he go? Where'd you go? And I are going to go on a walk, I think to the school to go feed Spike. We'll see. Alright, here we have it. The library shelves have been refilled. This will hold me over for a very long time. I renew hundreds of times. But I really do want to read all these books for the most part. So there's a system to this. We have picture books here. I stock the newly added titles and get as many picture books as possible that look something like I would need to purchase for my library at school because we don't have as much money. I want to pre-see them. Can't remember the word for that right now. Then this is a pile of nonfiction because I am enjoying this a whole bunch more lately, and so I have a lot of great titles here. And then moving down here, we have fiction, and I normally also try to rainbow ties them like I have them in my bedroom. Yes, there you have it. Library shelf, ready to be read from. What are you wanting to do, huh? Should we go feed Spike? Should we go for a walk? You want to go? Come on, let's go. Take that as a yes. We are now at 6:15. Now, we did not go to school to feed Spike because Brady was an absolute turd multiple times, and so I finally gave up and we came home. But I did have to run some more errands, but I thought I would kind of haul some of the goodies that I got today. So normally during readathon I pick up a book I've never heard of, but since for this readathon it's read your own stuff, the book that you saw me pick up was actually a gift. And it is Embraced 100 Devotions to Know God is Holding You Close. I saw this and immediately thought of a friend who's getting ready to have a baby. She's a single mom, and she's so strong in her faith, and I want to help her find like quick devotionals that she can squeeze in with her new baby and her 3 other kids. So she's an amazing human being, and I am going to send that to her because she is from back home. Got some new foundation. This is my absolute favorite, number 7 Lift and Illuminate foundation. You have to get it at Target. Oh, tomato soup. We're having grilled cheese and tomato soup again tonight. And then I found on clearance crossbody purse. I've figured out I don't like handles on purses. I have to have a crossbody, but it also has to be big enough to put a book in. So we have that. And the last thing, let me reach, fingernail polish. I'm going to try out this stuff. It's Essie Treat Love and Color Strengthener in the color Can't Hardly Wait. So it's supposed to strengthen your nails. So I was getting my nails done every like 2, 3, even 4 weeks if I could, but it's $50 a pop, and I was like, forget this. I'm gonna just try doing it myself, and we'll see how it goes. So, anyways, I'm gonna get dinner started. Also, side note on homegoing. What was I gonna say about this? I had like a thought. Now I don't remember. Inexplicable Logic of My Life. I've been listening more of that. It is one that I actually think I'm going to get my quote book out for, because there are so many great quotes on grief, cancer, friendship, family, that if I can get past the whole cancer stuff, it might be one of my favorites for the year, as well as this one. So I will check in when I get a chance. Later, probably not. Garrett's on his way over, and if you didn't see from yesterday, he's not a big fan of being filmed, so it is what it is. Talk to you guys later. He's definitely ready to be fed. If you look, his gills are super light because he is albino, but as soon as he eats some of the frozen bloodworms I have thawing up here, he will pink right up. So here he comes. He's pretty quick. So he kind of turns into a little vacuum cleaner at this point, because he doesn't see very well, and so he puts his snout on the ground and scoots around until he can find another worm. As you can see too, his gills have pinked up a lot with that coloration of the worm. So is that better, Spike? I'll see you later, dude. It is now 12:30 in the afternoon on January 3rd, and I'm updating for the first time because I relaxed this morning, did a bubble bath, read more of Homegoing, and I'm still loving it. I did figure out what I wanted to tell you yesterday was I have it down as recommended book for my TBR. However, I think I'm going to switch it to my oldest book, because I right now have A Madness So Discreet in that spot, because the setting is like turn of the 19th century, but Homegoing starts in 1775, which is before then. So I'm going to move some things around to fit that change. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share about that. I have filmed 3 videos in the last hour, like books that I own that I'm either unhauling or keeping, and then I just finished my 2018 goal reflections. I also needed to film my 2018 favorites, which I have commitment issues with that. So I may film that this afternoon, maybe not. I have a lot of things that I need to get done. So I will check in later. And by updating you later, I guess I meant 2 days later. Yesterday, we both had off work, so we got our oil change in our vehicles, we cleaned his, we went downtown to First Fridays, which is like an antique extravaganza. It's like these warehouses filled with different antique shops, and that was super cool. It was a lot of fun. Didn't buy anything because my car had issues that needed more money than planned. And then we came back here and then went back downtown to meet up with my best friend and his friend that we met through 6 years ago, and we had dinner with them because they were in town. And so it was a lot of fun and totally worth it that I didn't get a whole lot of reading done. I did get reading done in the middle of the night. I woke up again at 1:30, couldn't sleep. I was awake till 5. So I read, I think, 2 more chapters of Homegoing. I want to finish today. I have 100 pages left. The audiobook came in of this on Overdrive, but I'm enjoying it so much, like for the first time ever, reading it this way that I don't know if I want to try the audiobook. And then I also started the introduction of a book I have no cover for, In the Shadow of Liberty. This is a YA nonfiction about 5 people that were enslaved. I've learned already in the introduction that that's how you're supposed to say it. So enslaved people of 5 U.S. presidents. So I'm going to try this year to pair more fiction and nonfiction, and I thought that was a good pick together. So I'm going to give that a try. I also want to finish The Inexplicable Logic of My Life and Blended today, as well as get things done around the house. So we'll see how things go, and I will check in later. All right, let's go, Brady. All right, guys, it is now Tuesday, the 8th, so it's been a couple days since I've updated, and I've just been busy, I guess, with life. Sunday, I ran around the city getting new new chairs for the dining table, new stools or bar stools for the counter. So just getting furniture finally for my place that we can actually kind of pretend like we live a normal life. But we did that. And then I did finish a book on Sunday. I finished The Inexplicable Logic of My Life with all the driving around. Finished that on audiobook. I'm going to give this, I think, 4 stars. I like the story a lot, but there were some issues, which I've heard other people say, about stereotyping, sexuality, gender roles, those kind of things. And so I don't think it would hold up if it weren't for the own voices aspect of the author. I feel like if it were a different author, it wouldn't fly, like, of course. But I did have a lot of pictures taken of quotes to write my quote book about, like I said, grief, family, friendship. Just, it was a good story, but just not the best. And then yesterday, it was Monday, no kids at school. I had a 2-hour library team meeting, and then a work day the rest of the day to kind of get things in a row for the rest of the school year, which is crazy. And then I also finished Homegoing. This book, oh my gosh, I'm giving it 5 stars, and I'm honestly thinking it's going to be like my favorite book of 2019. If you have not read this yet, please, please, please pick it up. It is amazing. 8 generations. It was easy for me to follow, so like I said, anybody can follow it. It is so good. And then last night also, my Overdrive app popped up with the audio version of Bird Box, which I want to listen to it before I watch the Netflix show. And so I started listening to that while walking the dog, and I'm like 2 hours, 15 minutes in. Brady, please stop doing that. Go lay down. And so far it's weird. Like, it's not my thing, but I'm going to give it a try so I can see why people are like memeing the heck out of the thing. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. I did get a book in the mail that I had ordered, which is the library book. It's such a beautiful book. It's like a cloth book, kind of, but this is a true, like, nonfiction account of the 1986 library fire in Los Angeles, and they're like trying to figure out who set the fire because of how many books were burned and all that kind of stuff. This is the Reese Witherspoon pick of the month, and so I want to give it a try. It's just a gorgeous book, and I'm excited to have this in my hands for sure. Tonight, I don't really know what's going on. I'm just getting ready for a busy weekend with some friends coming to town, And then the Chiefs play in the playoffs, so that's going to be a big deal as well. So I'm also putting my glasses on because my contacts went haywire in the middle of the afternoon with my itty bitties at school, and it wasn't fun. So I now I'm wearing my glasses. So anyways, I will check in when there's more to update on reading. We are at Wednesday at 5:45 p.m. after work. I have no reading update, still working on Bird Box via audiobook, but I am doing a lot of cleaning tonight. I just did a little laundry and found something in the laundry that I wasn't expecting to find. These are my niece's socks. One of them must have weaseled them into my laundry bag while I was at my parents', and now I'm emotional because I miss them. Also, it is my brother's birthday, so happy birthday to you, Terry. You are a blessing, and I love you. So anyways, getting it together. Like I said, cleaning tonight. We have Thursday, January 11th on the books today, 6 o'clock p.m. I've not done much reading at all. I've listened to the audiobook of Bird Box, which I'm still working on. Need to do some reading. I'm going to get more reading done this weekend than I thought because unfortunately my friends can't come to town anymore. We're getting like 3 to 6 inches of snow, supposedly. And so safety first on this one. We're all going to stay home and do our own thing and then do a shopping trip later, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to get reading done, which is exciting. But I'm actually going to go get my hair done, colored maybe, I don't know, here in like an hour and a half. So I need to run some errands. Going to Sam's to get groceries and stuff to be indoors and not have to leave to go anywhere. Then I am also needing to get gas. Why do you care? I don't know. I just thought I'd share. My car is empty. It needs gas. Then I'm going to go to my hair appointment, come back, hang out. The dog is relaxing because he's been at daycare all day because of all my trips. So check in later. This is what it looks like when you have played all day at daycare. He has eaten 3 candles in 2 days, so don't let this guy fool you. He's not as sweet as he looks. Right, Brady? Brady. That's what I thought. It is 4 o'clock on Friday. This guy is in my face. So he's gonna go stir crazy this weekend. As you saw, it is snowing already, and it wasn't supposed to start snowing till later. So that means it's gonna be a lot of snuggling up and reading, which is gonna drive him nuts. And I mean, he's already ate 3 candles, so I'm sure he'll move on to books because he loves to eat books. And that's not gonna happen, but I'd like to finish Bird Box, listening to it tonight. I have 3 hours left, and I'm hoping even to start the Netflix show, or the movie, I think is what it is, that everybody's still talking about, to do that. And then I want to start a new book. I have a nonfiction book started, but I want to get back into like a contemporary book probably, just because I am missing reading from a physical book, and I want something fast-paced. So I'll probably choose a new book to start and get into because I've missed that like just getting back in the swing of things for work. So I'll check in later when I have a reading update. It's not a contemporary. I chose a historical fiction. It's a little chunkier, but I'm hoping that I can get through with it because it has short chapters. This is also for a book club at the public library. That's 22nd, and it's reminding me of one of my favorite books, The Language of Flowers, meeting up with Before We Were Yours, because it's an orphanage tale of the 1950s in Quebec, centered around a family who does like gardening seeds and has a farming store. So it's really good so far, and I'm hoping to get through it this weekend. It is still snowing, but it's so pretty. I am already on page 90 of The Home for Unwanted Girls. This is so good right now. I got to a part that I wanted to talk about. So part 1 is Maggie as a 15-year-old girl. She is French and English, and during that time, like the English thought themselves to be better than the French. And so her family is like, you have to be English. We don't speak French unless it's her mom who's strong-headed, like strong-willed. Um, and then she falls in love with a French boy who is poor, and they want to separate the two of them. She's sent to her aunt's house, and she finds out she's pregnant, and try to figure out, I guess, who the father is, because another event happens while she's there before she finds out that she's pregnant. But the child is sent away to the orphanage, which is part 2 where I'm at, and 4 years later, like, the news comes out that the orphanages are turning into asylums because it is cheaper to not educate the children. So they're all turning into asylums, which I kind of recently heard about because our work party for Christmas, like our Christmas party, I guess, was at a winery, which was haunted, I guess, and 10,000 people died there because a long time ago it was first an orphanage and then an asylum and then a geriatric hospital. And it is just insane, the thought of the progression of all of these things and how people are treated. I'm kind of nervous that there's so much of this book left that's taking place in this orphanage turning into asylum, that things are going to happen that I'm going to be queasy about. So I'll be sure to let you know along the way. But I definitely want to look more into this. I'm excited not excited, that's a weird word. So I was going to read also A Madness So Discreet, which is an asylum novel, but I had a nonfiction book called 10 Days a Madwoman, where a reporter like masquerades as a person needing to be in an asylum so she can write a piece about it and how people are treated. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have to pick that up too, depending on how this goes, sooner than planned, but that is okay because it's on my TBR for this readathon. So if you know anything about this time period or any other material to read on this time period regarding orphanages into asylums, I would love for you to share those down below. Because, wow. Anyways, I'm going to do some more reading and check in soon. No, I haven't been sitting in this spot the entire time, I promise. I have been up and around cleaning, doing laundry, and listening to the last hour or so of Bird Box. I have finished it. I'm going to give it a 3 stars, I think. It was just okay. I could see how the movie adaptation is getting so much hype of this, but really, maybe I missed it. I don't think they ever come out and say, like, why or what it looks like that is causing them to go crazy, so they cover their eyes because people are seeing things that make them go absolutely nuts, violence, killing, gruesome details, but I don't think they ever like say what it is. So I'll be interested to see what the movie does with that. Now, 3 star just because it's not really my thing. Not pleased with the ending. I get why it's left it open-ended. I'm sure Netflix will do like a follow-up movie that has nothing to do with what the author intended, because money. But, so instead of watching the movie right now, I have a Redbox movie I've had for several days now, whoops, that I need to watch. And I think I heard Spence from Common Spence talk about this movie being a cool thriller that the characters don't speak. It's all like through text and like images on the screen. So that'll be kind of neat. And since it's snowing still and I'm kind of trapped inside, which is completely fine, I can sit down and enjoy this. I have some time to do so. I think I'm going to do that, even though the Chiefs play at 3. So there's going to be a lot of sitting on my tush today. But maybe during the game I'll be up screaming at the TV, so I'll get some exercise then. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm still enjoying my book, of course. Like I assumed, they were going to go into more detail of how they are changing the orphanage into an asylum. It's heartbreaking. Yeah. They're putting these kids together with people who are truly, like, mentally ill, and the word that they used back then is mentally retarded in this place, because that was common practice. People didn't know how to care for their loved ones with these disabilities going on, and so it is just heart-wrenching to have these young kids trying to say, like, we don't belong here. Our only, like, they tell them that they're at the orphanage because they are a product of sin, and that is their only downfall, and they're trying to tell the nuns that when they're not even 10 years old, is heart-wrenching. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at with this book. 125 pages in, I think. Definitely want to read some more of this today. The goal is to finish it. Like I said, I just dropped it. But anyways, I'm going to go start watching Searching, and I'll talk to you guys later. This is pretty strange. But kind of cool. I've decided to go against my little scrappy TBR chart underneath used here. Instead of reading When He Has Wings, I am going to do Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This will be used because it's a library book. I also have it on audio, so I'm listening it mostly via audio. The Taylor Jenkins read along, has to be read along, is doing this. So I'm going to put the information down below for you to check it out because that is coming up, so I want to have that read. And I have my jalapeno butter popcorn from Jolly Time ready to go. My book for halftime and timeouts. My drink is a True Lime water packet that's black cherry limeade. And the game is getting ready to start with the kickoff. So let's hope this goes well, people. I am so nervous. 31, us 13 them with 1 minute left to go. It's still snowing. Good grief. Yay! Thank the Lord. Hey, Brady. Are you hungry? You hungry? Should we go eat? Let's go. Come on. Hey, how's it going? Everything's completely normal. Nothing is weird. To address the Tin Man in the room, I am doing a Glam Glow mask. Let's see if I can properly beauty guru this. You can't see it, too much light. But that is because at 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to have my eyebrows touched up for microblading, and you are not allowed to exfoliate or clean or anything them for like 2 weeks because they're basically tattoos. And so I'm taking care of all that now. I took a bubble bath and then I exfoliated in the shower, and now this is happening. So you're welcome. But while I was in the bubble bath, I did finish The Home for Unwanted Girls. Can't get it too close to my face. And wow, I can't tell you anything about the ending because it'll give it away, but just know you have to read this. It is amazing. I'm showing you this now and putting myself out there on the internet like a Tin Man because I'm actually going to be mailing this to a friend already this afternoon because it's that good. And like I said before, it reminds me of The Language of Flowers meets Before We Were Yours. And The Language of Flowers is one of my favorite books ever and was recommended by her. So this is going to her this afternoon. And so that means next up, I want to pick up 10 Days a Mad Woman, which is super short YA nonfiction that's like 118 pages. So who knows? I could get another book done today. But this is about a reporter whose name is Nellie Bly, who purposely inserts herself into an insane asylum to do a report about it and to expose the truth about these places. So that sounds awesome. Definitely like giving and serving all the tea back in the day, but this is, I think, what's going to be next. So obviously I'm going to finish getting ready for the day, get the whole microblading business done, which is essentially they like put what I call scream cream because it's what they put on my chemo port. And so it numbs your skin, and then they put razors in your skin to insert the semi-permanent pigment. It doesn't go as deep as a tattoo, so it's not actually permanent, but it's interesting to say the least. I'm hoping to get them, this one for sure, darker and maybe even a little bigger now that we've seen how my skin takes the pigment. So I will check in. I don't know if I'll do it during because that's a little weird. She might be like, what are you up to? But yeah, I'll check in and tell you how it goes. So things did not go as planned. So something happened with the hair salon and people bailed with like booth rents and stuff, and a lot of things have changed. So when they sent out the messages of where to go, my area code was different because I'm not from here. So it kind of got lost in translation, so I went to the old place and they're somewhere else. So now I have to reschedule, which is okay, just kind of disappointing. Things changed in the hairstylist too, which I found out this week. She was at a different location. So kind of messy, but we'll figure it out. On with the rest of the day, I guess.
And what is your husband like?
He loves everything I love. What about you? Does your husband have a favorite?
Monday morning, 7 o'clock, and I'm getting ready to head to work. Obviously, last night we did watch Bird Box, which I thought was better than the book, which never happens. I think I cried like 3 different times. That little girl was so super sweet. Ugh, so cute. I did this morning start a new audiobook of Exit West. I'm an hour and a half in. There's only like 3 hours and 15 minutes left. And I'm still kind of not sure what's going on. I know it's like got some time traveling or like door entering 2 different places going on in the midst of a war. It's kind of a love story as well. This book I'm entering into my TBR via audiobook because there is another book club at the library that's like reading books from different places around the world. So that's on Wednesday, and I figured that I might be able to pull it off since it's only like a 5-hour, not even a 5-hour audiobook. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure where it's gonna go on my bingo board, but at this point I need to like completely revamp it anyways, so we might have to walk through that later, but have a great Monday. We are now at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Just got back from walking the dog. I was listening to Exit West, and I'm having a hard time following it, even though I'm like over 2 hours in on this short audiobook. It feels really choppy in the writing style, so I'm hoping that I can make sense of it enough to actually feel like I should go to this book club event, but we will see. We have now reached Thursday, no, Wednesday, the 16th at 9 o'clock in the evening, and I don't have much of an update from the last couple days. We tried to watch Christopher Robin last night, and both of us were like 15-20 minutes in, and our attention just wasn't there, so we're gonna have to try that later. I did finish Exit West this morning while I was getting ready, and I ended up giving it a 2, which is weird for me because everybody's like raved about it. I can understand why people like it, but my attention wasn't there. I think maybe that might be the theme of the week. But I don't know, also the narrator or the narration might be a little off. It was kind of flat and monotone, which is also interesting because that is the author's voice. And I just felt like the sentence structure was a little choppy, or that's how it read to be out loud. It was also kind of interesting how much like physical relationship things were brought up in such a short story. And with like the whole refugee migrant ideas mixed in, it was just, I don't know, with fantasy elements, it was just kind of all over the place. I don't think I was the audience for that. So that's unfortunate. So I did not go to the book club tonight because I felt kind of weird about going to a book club for the first time, not enjoying the book. And also it started icing this evening, so we have another storm coming this weekend, and it's kind of starting off tonight, and the roads were getting a little slick. I think it's kind of died off by now. But I just didn't want to get out and about this evening, and so I did not go and do that. I have started a new book. I started The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery, 20 pages in, when I was in the bathtub, taking a bubble bath. I thought this was about an elderly man. that owns a bookshop that's grumpy and his life changes because somebody leaves something on the doorstep. But I could have sworn they said he's 39. So that kind of changes what I thought I was getting into. Now, because I'm doing fiction and nonfiction pairings a lot, I did get this book in here recently. So I'm thinking I'm going to pair this with the bookstore book because this is about the 1986, I think, fire in a big library, I think in California. I don't know. It's nonfiction text, but I figured book-loving books go together. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to read for a little bit, probably fall asleep, and talk to you tomorrow. We have reached Friday, which means it is Red Friday. Repping the Chiefs today. It was a great day at work. I feel like this week has just been awesome with learning, with kids. Like, I can't explain like the fulfillment of having a successful week of learning, not just like content, but life skills and social emotional stuff. It just makes me feel like my job is like where I need to be right now, which is great. But we're gonna go out to eat before weather hits. The rain has started, the snow is coming tonight. I think I'm still like 20 pages in, haven't read any more of this, but via audiobook I have made more progress in Maybe in Another Life, over halfway. I am excited to see what is her name, Hannah, to see which life she ends up picking. So basically she has like this reunion and decides whether or not she's going to go home with her old high school boyfriend or go home with her best friend, and it's like the inner like parallel lives of what happens based on which one she picks, and I have no guesses at this point. So I am excited to see how this ends and wraps up. It kind of reminds me of What Alice Forgot, I think, by Leanne Moriarty. But it's good so far. So I want to keep reading this, finish that. Of course, I got more books to the library, which I'll share with you later. Randomly, how fun is this cardigan sleeve? But off of Amazon. I might link it below because it's only 19 bucks and I'm in love with it. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. It's Saturday, 11:45 in the morning. I've been up for 6 hours, so I've got a lot of reading done. And I did forget to mention that I've also, like this entire month, been watching You on Netflix here and there because I read the book last year. And it's almost like creepier to see a stalker in action visually instead of just reading or listening to the story. So there's a lot of differences here and there, which I'm sure everybody is watching lately, but I have been doing that as well. So anyways, started off the day with breakfast and began listening to more of Maybe in Another Life. I also listened while doing laundry and vacuuming and makeup and hair and dishes. So I'm 110 more pages in, almost finished with the story, and that's going to be my goal for sure today. I also took a bubble bath after breakfast because I love doing that on Saturday morning, and I'm 50 more pages into this, which is a little bit different than I thought it would be style-wise, and in terms of the man and the baby that shows up at the bookstore and where this is going. I guess the story life of AJ Thickery makes sense that we're going to see a larger timeline, which I didn't think it would be that way. So we'll see. I'm almost halfway, but it's going to be a short read, and I'm excited to see how this ends in the relationship between AJ and I think Maya is the girl's name? Maya? I'm not sure how you say it. So anyways, I will check in when I have more reading updates to share with you. Yes, I'm still sitting here because I decided to ixnay the audiobook and finish Maybe in Another Life. I think I'm giving this 4 stars. Like 70 pages left in the book, I had this theory of how it would end, and I was incorrect. But I still did enjoy how it ended in the long run, I guess. Not as much as I would have the other way around. And unfortunately I can't share because it would give everything away, I guess. But kind of the middle, it dragged a little bit. Lovey-dovey at the end, kind of warm fuzzy feels, but I think I'm going to go ahead with a 4. It wasn't the best, but it also wasn't bad. It was still a great read. So, all right, I need to move on with the day and get some lunch. It's been really low key because it's so stinking cold outside. Started off with the morning doing the bathtub thing once again. Got 40 more pages into the story life of AJ Fickery. Still kind of having the same meh feelings about it, which makes me really sad. And then I did listen to church online because the church that we enjoy listening to is actually like an hour and some odd minutes away. And then, yeah, got ready for the day, all that kind of stuff. I started listening to a new audiobook, A Madness So Discreet, and this is one that I've mentioned that I wanted to start soon because of reading The Home for Unwanted Girls last weekend and loving it, about how the orphanage was turned into an insane asylum. This is just about a girl sent to an asylum after getting pregnant, not by her own choosing, and what happens with the people there. It's really engrossing and a fast listen so far. I'm not going to tell you who I think the father is because I'm thinking it probably will come out a little bit more throughout the course of this story, but I am listening to that and slowly getting through 10 Days of Mad Women, so those two are still on my list. Like, I got all the books started. I think having like 24 challenges for the bingo board is getting the best of me because I'm just like total ADHD on reading everything from my shelves, which is fine. I do want to like work through and make a crafty bingo board, just because there wasn't really one to like download online. So I think I'm gonna do that during the game because it's gonna be stressful. At this point, it's just stressful. I'm all ducked out, ready to go. Got the new earrings on, so I'm sure you'll see a clip of that, and whether or not things go our way or the other way. At this point, I don't even want to think about it because that will dictate how the next 2 weeks of our life goes. Either it's going to be like super elated or super depressing because that means the season's over and it's just going to be rough. Anyways, I'm going to do some reading and just relaxing. I did get a snack when I went to Sam's Club for more eggs. This stuff is so good. That and a Diet Coke, munching on and reading. I'll check in a little later. All right, the fourth quarter has started. We are behind 3 points. Yikes. But speaking of 3, I finished this one and I'm giving it a 3 stars. I guess the ending made it worth it a little bit, but there's a quote I wanted to share because it like fully embodies this story as well as many others. Why is any one book different from any other book? They are different, AJ decides, because they are. We have to look inside many. We have to believe. We have to agree to be disappointed sometimes so that we can be exhilarated every now and again. So, this was a disappointment, a 3-star, but if I didn't have these kind of books that were just meh, I wouldn't really appreciate 5-star books, so I get that, I'll give it that, and I'll move on. So, let's see how this game goes. I'm kind of freaking out on the inside, but I'll touch base here in a minute. Brady, don't be judgy.
Yeah, relax, amigo. It's gonna look okay.
He's not a fan of me yelling at the TV,
No worries, boss.
right?
One of the tattoo artists in the city.
Oh my gosh.
30. You didn't go over though, Carol. Stand right over there. 30. Go ahead, Eric. You got to beat a 30. Good luck to you. Who do you want to say hi to? I'd like to say hi to my wife, Teresa, out there. I love you. Mom, Dad, Johnny D, my...
It is now the 21st, which means this is the last stretch of radio shelves. We have 10 more days to get everything read. Yeah, right. But yesterday did not update anything. It was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so we had the day off in the first day since the NFL season's done for us. And so we had a day date and we went to a lunch, we went to a movie, we watched The Mule, and it was actually really, really good. Beforehand, we stopped by Barnes & Noble and I found this book. Renee Watson wrote Piecing Me Together, which was my favorite YA book of 2017, and this is What Mama Left Me. This is about a girl named Serenity who is struggling with grief after her mom passes away. She moves in with her grandparents, and now her brother is struggling and causing some issues as well. So I'm just excited to read this because I love her writing. I know she has a new one coming out soon called Watch Us Rise, and so I want to see what else she has out there before I enjoy her new book, and I'm just really excited to get to that. Then last night we watched America's Got Talent. We played a lot of Yahtzee, but yeah, other books and updates. Almost halfway through The Madness, or A Madness So Discreet. It's good so far. And then I also started Roomies by Christina Lauren. This is for a popular author I've never read from. Reading it before bed, so I haven't gotten very far. So that is the game plan of reading. It's a whole lot of blue books, I guess, for this week, because I'm also reading 10 Days of Mad Women, which is also blue. Headed to work. It's only a 4-day week. We can do this. I'll talk to you guys later. It is now 5 o'clock and weather, icy snow crap has rolled in, and so the book club for this evening at the library is canceled, rescheduled for next Tuesday. So that means there's just more time to read tonight, I guess. Already in my pajamas, already in my slippers. Not going anywhere. Nope. We have received an ice day. Barely anything, like maybe an inch of snow, not even, but the ice makes it so you cannot travel. So today will be a day of relaxing. I hope to finish Roomies, which, third of the way through at least. I want to listen to and finish the rest of Madness So Discreet. I also just need to power through the last 80 pages of this super short nonfiction text. So that is the goal for today, as well as finishing my 2018 favorites. I need to edit it. Yeah. And then maybe filming a couple extras. So we'll see. I need to get some groceries, but I'm not about to get on icy roads, so I'll update you when there's something to update about, I suppose. So now that he is worn out, it's now time to take care of myself. I've changed my eating habits quite a bit here lately, and I'm enjoying it. It's just eating less, watching what I eat more through the Naturally Slim program that's offered through work. So that's been good. I've also started using Thrive products because my energy has been really low in the winter. I don't know what that's about. And so those work too. But anyways, I've lost like 10 pounds. Happy about that. But every time Wednesday rolls around, I have to treat myself, and as you may know, it's my favorite pie day that the cafe down the street makes once a week, so I can't not get it, because baby steps, right? I'll update you if that ever changes, but I'm sure it's not. So I'm gonna enjoy this and do some more reading, maybe. We'll see what happens. In the last 30 minutes, I have finished 2 books. So the first one is A Madness So Discreet. I listened to this on audiobook as I was vacuuming and cleaning the floors because my mom is coming this weekend, so it's time to work on making this place a little bit more presentable. But I've wrapped this one up. This is about Grace, and it's historical fiction living in the asylum after her father gets her pregnant, and he is insane himself because he is a political figure in this area who abuses women in the worst possible ways. And so they put her into the asylum to hide the fact that she is pregnant. Things go awry. She starts helping to solve murders of other women, and it's also about all of the people inside the asylums and how they're treated, like they're not in there for the right reasons, and whether or not she is able to kind of have justice by the end of the story. So I gave this a 4 stars. I also finished Roomies by Christina Lauren. This is a book everybody is talking about, so I expected it to be a lot better than it was. I gave this a 3 star. It was just like run-of-the-mill romance, like no big deal. I mean, it's different in the fact that you have the main character whose name is Holland, that she lives in New York City where her uncles are. She works for a theater or a Broadway theater type place. And she has this crush on a guy in the subway that plays a guitar. She figures out how to help him out because he's actually an illegal citizen. They get married, and it's whether or not they fall in love and like the course of the story and how crappy her friend is, and like, I don't know. It just wasn't at all as good as what I expected, so 3 stars. So that means I still do need to finish 3 Days of Mad Woman because that was on my list of things to get here. But 2 more books I definitely want to finish before the end of the month, or try to by next week. Next week I have 4 days in a row of like bookish things. So like 2 live videos or live book club things with BookTube, and then 2 live events for book club, one of which is an author visit from the authors of an anonymous girl. I have this on audiobook ready to listen to. They're going to be here to talk at the library. They'll do a book signing, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to count this one as a book box book for this readathon. Now, I didn't order it from Book of the Month this month, thinking that I just wanted to get one. And then as soon as I ordered it, I saw that they were coming and immediately regretted it. So I'm still counting it as a book box book because it is in fact from that. But I am going to have to order it on Amazon because it's cheaper that way to get it signed. The other book I do want to read next, I'm going to start tonight, probably in the bathtub, is Summer of Salt. This is magical realism with, I think, this couple right here, lesbian representation, YA, and the Sassy Cassie Book Club or something like that is next Friday night, and I would like to attend that because I've wanted to read that for a while. So that's what I'm up to. I need to go pick up the dog from daycare. He's getting some of his energy ran out because it is still stupid cold here. Like, not supposed to get above 6 degrees this evening. So I will talk to you guys later. As usual, I'm trying to think of like 525,000 things to like get out of cleaning. So yeah, bubble bath and starting this one. Here we go. So apparently, mid-vlog, I forgot how to vlog. But really, my mom came for the weekend and we were shopping, hanging out. So I didn't have time to read, so there wasn't really a reason to vlog. And then Monday was work, getting ready for a week, and it's been insane. So today is Tuesday, and I've done some reading. I got an anonymous girl on audio going because the author signing and stuff for them is tomorrow night, just down the road. I am like 6 hours and 50 minutes in, so 4 hours and 50 minutes left. So I will have time to actually get this done, I think, because we have a ice, snow, cold day. It's like negative degrees tomorrow when the buses are supposed to run, and like in real temp. Wind chill is like negative 20 to negative 40 perhaps, and so we have no snow, and they've already called it off at like 4:45. And so I'm going to get some reading done. I'm going to get that done in case I decide to go out in the cold and go to the author event. And then I also want to work on Summer of Salt, which I've started, but I don't know what the deal is. Everybody loves this, and I'm just struggling with the style so far, but we'll see. It's definitely magical realism already from the very beginning, and so I think I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm hoping to dig more into this tonight. Tonight I also have a book club meeting at 7 o'clock to talk about The Home for Unwanted Girls, which I loved and gave 5 stars to. So there's that. Just hanging out, staying warm. I don't know if there's anything else to tell you about. It's just been a crazy week. I mean, we're all just freezing and losing our minds. So, let's go.
Subject 52, flickering across the screen. She sits down and the questions appear.
Alright guys, yesterday I did not get a whole lot of reading done. In fact, the last 2 hours I needed to listen of an anonymous girl ran out on my loan and went back to the library. So I had 60 pages left, and so I had to go right that wrong after school today. But first, I started off the morning as I was getting ready, and I started listening to In an Absent Dream by Sean McGuire. This is the 4th book in the Wayward Children series, and it's like a 5-hour audio listen, and so I set it on like 1.75 speed as I was getting ready this morning, and also listened to it after school on my drive back from the airport from dropping off my boyfriend, who's on a ski trip, I guess, for the weekend with his friends. But I'm already like over 2 hours into it, so like 2.5 hours left. And so I definitely need to get that finished because it's gonna be a long time before it's back to finish up. And even though it doesn't go with my whole Blackathon read for February, I need to finish it. I don't know if I can finish it tonight. I have a goal of finishing books tonight because it's the end of the month. But anyways, so that I listened to. And then after school, I went to the airport, got back, picked up him. He's exhausted. He spent the day at daycare. And then I dropped him back off here and got ready for the author talk. And so then, of course, afterwards, they did sign my book. It was a lot of fun to listen to their process as a author duo. They do everything on Google Drive, and they don't take turns, like they don't do it separately. They do everything together, Google Drive and Google Hangouts, so that was kind of neat to hear that. They were just awesome ladies, a lot of fun to listen to. And so I'm excited to finish this. I'm definitely wanting to finish the last 60 pages tonight. I wasn't planning on purchasing the book because I was listening to it, but now I have to know what happens. And then I'll probably end up getting The Wife Between Us. And so other things I would like to finish tonight. I don't think I finished In an Absent Dream. Maybe I'll start more of that tonight and do tomorrow. But I also want to finish 10 Days of Mad Woman. I don't know about that. And then I still have Summer of Salt to finish, which I think is a really quick read. So I'm going to stay up as late as possible and see what happens. So I will update you on how all of this Read Your Shelves readathon ends. It is now the morning of February 1st. I don't know what happened to all my energy. As soon as I sat down to read, I got 4 pages and fell asleep. So that's fun. Also filmed the video this morning. After school today, I will share with you my wrap up for this readathon in January. So even though it's February, we gotta get this going and get this up and moving along. So this is my Blackathon TBR, what I'm reading in February, so stay tuned for that. It'll probably be up. Who am I kidding? I'm the worst at editing vlog, so you may see this in March. Who knows? But I'm still gonna do it anyways. Anyways, have a good day. See you in the next clip.